Everybody, it's the best coming at you with another video. And I'm going to make this video quick, people, because I'm tired. These two women, Anastasia Bowden and Jennifer, have kept me up all night. Alright? Why? Well, when I was doing my research on the Citadel versus SEC case, I seen where 5 individuals have filed an amicus brief in support of Citadel. Now, I could run with my argument, but what makes an argument effective is not knowing what your argument is, but knowing what their argument is and countering it, okay? So, last night when I found this brief and the other 4, I still got to go through the other 4. These women, wow. And I'm going to be honest with you. I had a feeling when I seen it was 2 women. Women are very thorough, whereas men are very cocky. Men will say just about anything and just expect you to go along with it, whereas women are very thorough in their arguments. So I knew they was going to give me a hard time. And what they argue is that Citadel does not have to, or Citadel or any broker or market maker or anything, it's illegal under the 4th and 5th Amendment of the Constitution for them to submit any of their trading data to the CAT system because it might be used against them. Best way I could say that is this. You know how when the police read you your rights and you got to be quiet, you got a decision to be quiet or go ahead and talk? All right, you got the right to remain silent. Anything you say could and possibly will be used against you in court. That was their argument in the essence of filing all these transactions into the CAT system. It's not that they're violating the law, but if the SEC was to look at it and find fraud, then it could be used against them. And man, that was a good argument. It's 30 pages, as y'all can see. It was a good argument. And I ain't gonna lie, people, I found this about 8:30 last night. And I had to figure out, how is this not a 4th or 5th Amendment violation? Because on the surface, it is. And they had case law that supported what they were saying. And I had to go read all the case laws that supported them, hoping to find something that I could poke holes in that I'd be able to argue in my amicus brief in support of the SEC and the CAT system. And I did. Y'all know CSI. I'm not giving up. It took me all night to study this one brief and to finally come up with the answer, but when I tell you what the answer is, and don't get crazy commenting about how I tell them my arguments. It doesn't matter if they know my arguments. They cannot beat my arguments. They're that good. All right, and you're going to understand in just a second. How is it that the 4th and the 5th Amendment is not constitutional violations when it comes to the CAT system? Very simple. You got 2 branches here. You've got the SEC, which is the regulatory arm of the government that ensures that the market is being operated efficiently, okay? Over here, you've got the DOJ. And the DOJ's job is to bring criminal charges against individuals that they believe have committed crimes and charge them with those crimes, and they're punishable by imprisonment and or fines. Okay? Now that you have that understood, think about it like this. Does a health inspector need a warrant to go into a restaurant and perform a health inspection of that restaurant? No. I've worked restaurants a good bit of my life. And when the inspector gets ready to walk in that door, they tell you open that freezer. You got to open that freezer. They go in there with their thermometers and they start checking the temperature of all the meats. And they'll go in there and run their hands above this. And if they find something, they can fine you, they can shut your restaurant down, and so forth. But now let's say, for example, the police have gotten reports that somebody at the restaurant is putting something in the food and making people sick. Now, when the police show up, you know, the law enforcement branch of the government, when they show up, They cannot just walk in and begin searching the restaurant like the health inspector can. They're bringing criminal charges. They're looking for evidence of a crime. So then, therefore, they need a warrant. Difference? The health inspector is a regulatory arm of the government. The police are a law enforcement arm of the government. Now, with that understanding, think about it again. The SEC is the regulatory arm of the government. They cannot bring criminal charges against Citadel. They can only bring civil cases which result in fines, disgorgements, clawbacks, and so forth. Now, when the CAT system is operational and the SEC is operating inside of its capacity as the regulatory arm of the government, they can walk into the exchanges and they can say, give us the data for Citadel on their trading history for the past 2 years. They're regulating the market. They're not trying to enforce and put Citadel in jail. They're just making sure, just like the health inspector, that everything is going according to as it should. Now, if the DOJ was to want to see something in the CAT system, if they requested to see Citadel or Virtue's trading activity, and they called the exchange and said, we need to see that from the CAT system, what is the exchange going to tell them? Sorry. You're the law enforcement branch of the government. You can bring charges of a criminal act against Citadel. They do not have to produce any material. That is what these ladies called testimonial. Or meaning, if anything that the DOJ sees in the CAT system, they've just implicated themselves in a crime. But not if the regulatory arm does it, just like the health inspector. So don't tell me these people can't be beat. I can beat them, people. I'm on it. I'm on top of it. I have to put it on the back burner for now because something else more pressing has come up concerning a case with Citadel, and I have to give it my full attention because it has to be done between Monday and no later than Tuesday. All right. Whereas this, where I'm formulating this argument for the CAT system, I can stretch that out for a week. So I have to stop what I'm doing now with this amicus and start working on the second amicus, which is going to be concerning, do the SROs have absolute immunity? All right, because I was watching where they're doubling down and saying that they got absolute immunity. CSI asked, do they? According to the laws and according to the cases that they cite, yeah, they've got absolute immunity till they face off with me. And then I'm going to show y'all, right before I send this brief, I'll read it to you and I'll let you know how they do not have absolute immunity. And how I've always told y'all it's the New York Stock Exchange and the other exchanges that are in the most trouble. And I've got a document that proves that the SEC is going after the New York Stock Exchange for not fulfilling their SRO duties. So, I'm really tired. I'm going to get me a little rest. I'll be back up in a few hours. I'll be on the job. Love y'all. Be blessed. And I'll see you then.